can apply to the ones that we'll present today, but you can ask your questions anytime for the open call and what we present actually. But yeah, there will be no additional presentation from the people or the startups, but we would like to get to know you if you apply. So that would be, I think, the answer to the first question. And yes, please make sure to ask your question in the Q&A section during the presentation if you see something that is not very clear to you, or if you are already actually preparing your application and now you have some specific questions, please let us know, and afterwards we will come back to them and answer at the end of the presentation. So I think we can start as multiple participants join. Hello, my name is Denisa, and I represent here the Spheric Accelerator, the coordinator of the SynergistEIC Consortium. And alongside my colleagues, we will today present to you the second open call for the SynergistEIC. As you might already know, SynergistEIC is a program that provides tailored, specific, and hands-on support to specific European startups that are in the green tech sector. So we want actually to support them become more competitive and ready for the EIC Accelerator. So in this year, we will have another open call. So in the end, we will support 30 digital and deep tech startups developing green tech solutions. We had another open call last year, and this year is the last one. We will offer to the startups 50K as a grant for each application. And also, we want to offer to them the accelerator program and also access to the EU Innovation Network. As the main objectives of the SynergistEIC, we want to identify promising green tech startups that have a high potential to access the EIC Accelerator and be successful for this program. Also, we want to connect the startups with relevant ecosystem stakeholders and also with investors. So this is a big part of our program and our support that we are offering, especially in the second part of the acceleration program. Moreover, we want to reinforce the EIC activities, and we want to support the startups that were not awarded the EIC Accelerator grant yet. We will talk more also about the startup tracks that we are looking for, and moreover to accelerate the growth of the startups and the business development. Who is doing this? As I mentioned before, I'm here with my colleagues from the consortium. SynergistEIC Accelerator is the coordinator, and we are the first Romanian accelerator. And moreover, we are trying to connect startups with some strategic resources and facilitate their access to some global business opportunities. We have alongside us G-Force, who is a pre-seed and seed investment program for mission-driven sustainability and climate tech startups, who are supporting us with some services for the startups and the accelerator program. And Fast Track, that supports startups, entrepreneurs, and other innovators in building and growing their businesses. Giuseppe will talk a bit more after the first presentation about the EIC Accelerator and the impact that they are doing also with the connections with investors. And moreover, we have Success with the leading SME network and the platform for application management and for this accelerator program. So this is the SynergistEIC Consortium. As benefits of joining, the selected beneficiaries, so the 15 startups that will manage to be the finalists of this open call 2, will embark on a 6-month tailored program that will ensure their growth, impact, and the connections, the cross-board connection. They will receive up to 50K grants that will be used for the development of their solutions. Moreover, they will embark on this 6-month acceleration program in order to receive some specific mentoring and advisory sessions on their most pressing issues and blockers that they have with their businesses. Moreover, they will have access to some workshops on new funding procurement topics, and they will also get to know some specific EIC Accelerator winners so they can better prepare for the interview and the application. As I already mentioned, we are now on the Open Call to promotion phase, and we started this Open Call on 10th of January, and we will close it on 13th of March. So you still have time to apply. That's why we want to focus on some specific eligibility criteria in order for you to be more clear when preparing for this call and application. So these 15 startups that will be funded can be part of one of these two startup tracks. The first startup track is the EIC Accelerator Applicant startup track that we are targeting. We want to support 5 startups from this category, and we have the separate links for each startup track. The other track is referring to the non-EIC applicant startup track, and for this specific niche, we have 10 startups that we will select in the end. It's very important for you to double check when you want to apply the specific links for each startup track, because they are different and you must check what are the specific eligibility criteria that you fit on and for which track do you apply. That we will come back to that later, and again we'll present a bit more on the application phase. Who is eligible to apply to the call? As I already mentioned, we want to target innovative solutions that are addressing some specific green tech challenges. So you must have a mission in the area of climate tech, clean tech, circular economy, or agri food. Moreover, you must make sure to be a digital and deep tech solution that is addressing specific technical solutions like artificial intelligence, machine learning, language processing, big data, advanced computing, bioengineering, next-gen internet, blockchain, or IoT. So make sure to fit that into the digital aspect also. For the eligibility criteria for each track, it's important to know that for the EIC Accelerator applicant startups, you must have applied in the first part before applying to our call for the EIC Accelerator, and you were pre-selected after step 1, but not selected or not applied to step 2. This is very important to double check, and also we will request actually a proof of the seal of excellence or a feedback letter for this. We have also another specific program that must fit in this category, and this the SME instrument phase 1. So this will also require a specific proof of the evaluation feedback. For the non-EIC applicant startups, you must make sure to not have applied to the EIC Accelerator or the SME instrument, and not have received private or other EU national or other types of grant funding more than 500K, and you also need to provide a proof of it. The minimum technical readiness level for this category is 4. For the eligible countries, all the EU member states and widening countries are eligible for this call, also the associated countries and the othermost regions. And we have a specific aim to have a minimum of 50% of select companies for widening countries and a minimum of 25% of companies that are led by women or other members of an underrepresented group. These are the eligible countries list, but you can see them more on the website. And I want to walk you through the time frame, because you must be wondering how is going to look the program. So in the first 3 months, we will have some specific individual advisory sessions and mentoring sessions, especially for the EIC startups. After these 3 months, we will have a startup showcase and go on with the investor readiness matchmaking. and also with the joint learning sessions that we want to present to the startups. We will have those experience sharing sessions with the EIC Accelerator winners that will be organized, and moreover to present the EU landscape opportunities for this. So this is the program for the EIC startups. And the goals that they need to have is are the activities that should aim to increase their market coverage of the selected solutions. So further development of the products, achieving to a higher TRL level, technology improvement, marketing, branding, sales, pricing model, maybe market studies, and everything in the product development processes. These are the activities that are targeted for the EIC applicants. For the non-EIC applicants, the program is similar, but in the first part, we will have some specific workshops on their needs and some mentoring sessions that will be organized. We will have also the startup showcase alongside the EIC startups, and we will afterwards go on with the investor readiness activities, the investor matchmaking, and they will also have access to the workshops that I mentioned before. And activities that are eligible for this startup track are also the development of the product, the market data, that the improvement of the commercialization strategy, the engagement of the users, or marketing, sales enhancing services, and moreover, the access to the specialized EIC Accelerator consulting services. How to apply? I mentioned before that you must take very good care of the links that you apply on. So in the first part, we actually want to remind you to read the core documentation that is available on our website. Oriane will walk up us to the website also. And there you'll find the guidelines of applicants. So all the guidelines and the eligibility criteria that you must comply with, the technical annex template that will be very relevant when submitting your application, because this is actually the presentation of your idea and the document that will be evaluated by the external evaluators. So you must fit also in a specific limit of pages for that. And also we'll find that the sub-grant agreement, which will be relevant in the second part of the selection if you're selected. All the applications must be submitted in English. This is the official language of the open call, and the call is open until 13th of March. So make sure to fit into this deadline also. How to apply? First of all, we must mention that the application will be done on the SynergistEIC platform, so you need to have an account. Afterwards, to check the links, the specific links for the tracks, the EIC track and the non-EIC track, according to what you actually want to submit, what type of application you want to submit. For the technical annex, you have to prepare that beforehand, before applying, in order to attach it to the application form. And moreover, you have to prepare a 3-minute video pitch and attach it also to the application form. This is very important to mention, as you also know that there is a limit for the technical annex. We have another limit for the video pitch. So for the technical annex, you must fit into 10 pages, and for the 3-minute video pitch, you do not. You have to fit into that 3 minutes, because all the information that are above the limits are not taken into consideration for the evaluation of the applications. So for the 3-minute video pitch, just make sure you feature all the founders, you're introducing your product, the potential of growth, and also the result that you expect to benefit from the program. The timeline for this open call, we will have it open until 13th of March. Afterwards, in April, we will have the evaluation phase with the eligibility check and also the external evaluation. In May, we will start the contracting phase and the signatures of the sub-grant agreements, the KPI settings of the winning startups, and we will start afterwards the program in June, and that will last until the end of the year. For the implementation and reporting, it is important to know that we will have the grants distributed into phases. You will receive in the first part 70% of the money, and afterwards, after the mid-term checkpoint, so after the first 3 months, you receive the rest of the money if you managed to accomplish actually the KPIs that we set. And also the fact that you will have also to submit some specific documents, the financial documents, and the eligible categories for the costs are personal costs, travel and other direct costs, and indirect costs, and subcontracting. So you will have some more details on the guidelines of applicants if you want to dive deep into this financial part, but you must take care of that also during the program and secure all the necessary documents on that. And I think now is the time for me to pass the mic to Oriane in order for her to walk us through the website. Oriane, is it fine?
Yes, you should see my screen now.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending our webinar. My name is Oriane, and I represent the F6S company. So I will give you a small tour on our website. So the website of SynergistEIC.eu is your main entry for any information. There you can find everything. When you go on it, you have in this open call, so open call 2 pages. This is where you will also find all the relevant information to apply to our call. So I'm on that page already. I will give you a little tour. So the deadline is 13th of March 2024 at 5 p.m. CT sharp. The application form will directly close at this time, so we really encourage you not to do your application on the last day, especially if you encounter some technical issues, since there is a video to submit. Do not wait the last minute, as we will not allow late application in the process. So as Denisa explained, you have 2 tracks and you need to be really careful. So to apply as an EIC applicant or a non-EIC form, it leads you to do 2 different pages. So on the F6S page, and you have it in the title, non-EIC applicant or EIC applicant here. Make sure you apply through the right form, as questions are slightly different and you have annexes different as well to submit. So it's really important to make sure you are applying on the right form. I'm not going to go into all the detail of what we offer to you. Denisa have done this already, but you can find on our page more information regarding the eligibility criteria. As mentioned, you have to submit a technical annex and a 3-minute video pitch. That's for both tracks, and for the EIC track, you also have to submit proof. So you can find all the documents on our webpage here, the guide of applicant, the technical annex, and the sub-grant agreement. On the guide of applicants, which is here, you will find all the relevant information that we just explained. So please really read it thoroughly and make sure you follow all the guidelines that are written there. Then you have the technical annex, that this is what you will have to submit. So it's downloaded as a Word document. This is what you need to submit as a proposal. And this is what will be sent to the evaluator for your, selecting the right candidates. And please make sure you read also the guidelines that are there. So for example, to delete the guidance that are at the beginning, once you have read them thoroughly, to be able to submit your application. Once you are done, you need to submit it in PDF format. And please make sure you really read through the document, we have information everywhere that is written, how many page maximum for each category, and in total a maximum of 10 page. You need to be concise and while writing the right information. The evaluator will not read after the 10 page without the ethics. Of course, the ethics is not counting, the ethic part, which is ethics and security, is not counting in the 10 page, but the evaluator will not go further than the 10 page. So please make sure you stay within the guideline that we have provided you. Again, once you are finished, please send it as a PDF format through the platform. And you also have the sub-grant agreement. This you don't need to submit it now, but it's for you to know everything related to the agreement that we have with the selected startups, and you can find all the information in it. So this is on the first on our page. You also have the two links here that are again here. You can find all the eligible country list as well on the website. And you also have another page called FAQ, so frequently asked question, that you can go, that is updated with frequently asked question for our open call, and that you can find relevant information as well. So here, what is Synergistic? How can Synergistic help you? More information on our program. You also have like all the eligibility criteria that we have, more information on the funding. So read it thoroughly. If you still have questions, then we have an email that you can go through and ask questions. But please first read all the guidelines because they are quite details already and you can find most of the information there. So again, I will just go a little bit through the F6S platform. So this is where you have to apply. Again, there is a form for non-EIC applicant and EIC applicant. Make sure you write it on the right ones. And you need to have a F6S profiles from your startup to be able to apply. So create a profile there. And these are other questions on top of the technical annex that also support us on the eligibility criteria and other information. So write it truly. For example, the main contact email, make sure you write the email that you want to receive the information. This is the one we are going to use to send the ESR report. For example, we had a lot of applicants in last call that inform us they did not receive the ESR report, but they did. They just were not looking at the right email that they send us. We are using this one, not another one. So make sure when you write the information that this is the relevant one. Country and VAT number, everything. So I'm not going to go through all the detail, but please answer every questions because this is to pass as well the eligibility criteria and are really important information for us. At the end, you have the attachment place. So this is the non-EIC form. So make sure you upload your technical annex, the one I have sent here, this one, the Word document that you will add in PDF format. And also make sure you had your video pitch deck. Maximum file is 30 megabytes and recommended format is MP4. I highly recommend you again not to submit on the last day to make sure you don't have problem with this, and then we can support you in case. On the last day, we will not be able to support all the application if you have problem. So just make sure you are applying on time. And for the EIC applicant, it's really similar, but still a little bit different. So I'm not going to go again, but emails is really important, right? Fill up the information very thoroughly, and then at the end you have 3 attachments. So you also have the technical annex, you also have the video pitch, but you also have to prove the evidence that you are an SME instrument or the EIC accelerator applicant. I think that's it for me. Yes, so again, find all the information on our website. Thank you.
Thank you again. I think I can share my screen again. So Giuseppe can present us more about the EIC Accelerator and why do we want to support startups get to that program. Just a second. And now it should be fine.
Yes, sure. Great. Thanks a lot, Denisa, Well, okay, as all of you probably already know, one of the key focus areas for our project and our program is to support companies that are willing to apply and be successful to the EIC Accelerator. So this is just a sneak peek for those of you that has already applied to the EIC Accelerator under the different options you have. I was reading on the questions. Some of you probably applied with the fast track application way. But anyway, just a sneak peek on EIC Accelerator and what's new for 2024. So regarding the objectives, it's quite clear. Objectives have not been changed with the new work program. So fostering high risk, high impact innovation, supporting startups ecosystem, in particular for growing and scaling up, so transforming the entire European innovation ecosystem and bridging the funding gap to bring to the market such beautiful and useful innovations. Funding options, here are the first change, but we can see this later on. So when applying, at the first stage, you will be not asked anymore about the funding options. It's something that you must decide with the second stage application, with the full proposal. So for now, it's blended. There is the grant-only option, but in this case, it is important to stress that you can cover the other expenses with other finance sources, your own finance or from an investor, for example. And there is, again, the equity-only option. And of course, as I guess all of you now know, there is the option to choose to apply for the open call or to the challenge calls. For the open call, well, the approach in the end is fully bottom up. For challenge-driven calls, well, here we would like to highlight these two challenges for this year. Because we think will be very relevant for the startups operating in the sectors we are targeting. So food precision, fermentation, and algae. I don't know if some of you comes from this sector or want to disrupt this sector, but this can be very important. And again, on renewable energy sources, in this case, I think we think can be very interesting because the challenge in this case cover the whole value chain. Next slide, please. Sorry, Denisa. Okay, and well, some very straightforward information here. Scope of funding. As you know, there are two components that basically make the EIC Accelerator working. So the grant component with an intensity of 70% up to with a grant of up to 2.5 million. Equity component can reach up to 15 million euro. By the way, considering that in this case, the equity component cannot cover more than 25% of shares, and pay attention to co-investment aspects. It's true that everyone see the EIC Accelerator as a grant scheme, but in the end, it's something more closer to an investment scheme in the end. So if you have any investor already on board, you're fine with that. Put it in clear terms. If you don't have it on board, try to collect at least some letter of interest and to gain their commitment in case you are successful to the EIC Accelerator. Otherwise, well, you must find some alternatives before signing the grant agreement. Project phases. Okay, here everything has not changed from the past years, but just for you to remember, because there were already some questions about this. The starting point is having innovations that are between TRL 5 and 6. By the end of the project, they want to reach 8 or 9, considering also the equity component, of course. As you know, this is particularly important for open call, for the open call part of the EIC Accelerator. Well, what the EU Commission is looking for, what evaluators want to look within the proposals. They want to look something really breakthrough in the specific sector that can ensure that Europe will keep its position as a leader, a global leader in technology and innovation. So it's not important the innovation itself, it's important how this innovation can really disrupt a specific sector or can create new market niches. So pay a lot of attention when describing. And of course, besides funding, there are a lot of other services offered by the ESE through the ESE community platform. There are several programs to providing additional support. And here, the important thing, services are there. Most of them are for free. Exploit them and get the most from them. And all services are open not only to the winners of the ESE, but to the entire range of ESE awardees. So companies that have been successful in getting funded, but also a company that not received funded, but only the Seal of Excellence. Well, as I was anticipating before, well, some few updates. I believe that most of you already participated to the ESE Info Day that was organized in past January. Here in the presentation that will be shared after this webinar, you can see also the link to the ESE Info Day. But basically, long story short, this year, quite strong budget reduction, as you can see here. So the competition will be more challenging for sure. There is no longer grant first, but something, basically everything is blended finance. This is a sort of option for grant first, but in this case, it's mandatory to show where you can find the resources you need to further develop your innovation and go to market. Only two cutoffs, 13th of March. So we can consider this as past, but the next cutoff is the 4th of October. So all of you that will apply to the SynergistEIC program will have enough time to prepare all the application to going through all the stages you need to be successful, and then apply for the ESE cutoff on the 4th of October. Well, some small changes also on the evaluation stage. So for now, the short application require only 3 out of 4 goals from the expert evaluators to pass to the full proposal stage. Then another novelty is the introduction of consensus meetings for the evaluation of full application. I mean, where there is quite a distance between among the different position of the evaluators for full applications. And then the introduction, this can be very beneficial for you when preparing the budget and when will be the time for the implementation. So the introduction of a lump sum cost model. Anyway, as I was saying, all the details, you can get all the recordings and the presentation on the ESE Info Day webpage. Then just some very key figures. Okay, up to now, to the, let's say, to the ESE Accelerator as we know nowadays. So over 10,000 short applications submitted since 2021. Almost 8,000 full applications submitted since 2021. And among these, over 1,500 projects have been invited to interview since 2021. So as you can see here, the competition is very tough, and this is also the reason why the success rate, the formal success rate, is quite low for this program. But in the end, I mean, money are flowing, as you can see, from 2021. 427 contracts with grant component have been signed, more than 600 million and being distributed to foster these promising innovations. And for the moment, 186 investments have been approved by the ESE Fund. Okay. Here, just a quick overview on the application process. All of you, I believe, you know very well. But here, well, just for information, probably some of you already applied to this accelerator with the whole platform. Then there was a transition period, basically regarding the from last June up to to fall 2023, but now everything is more clear. So short project description for the short proposal, 12 pages, quite similar to all the applications for Horizon Europe calls for proposals, a pitch deck and a video. Full proposal. Here again, a template, you can give the shape you prefer for to better describe your innovation, but basically these are a super detailed business plan where you have 50 pages to put all the information you think are relevant to show why your innovation should be funded. And again, here you can choose the funding type. And here, if you want, you can prepare a new pitch deck because if you are successful, then you need to go to the jury stage. Here, the most important information, as you can see, cut-off days, only 2 this year, but the interview weeks have already been defined with some indicative dates in this case. So if you will have the chance to apply for the full proposal in October, then you already know when the interview will take place. And as you can see, it will be next January. So enough time to prepare everything. And we really believe we can provide you the support you deserve to further improve your application and being successful in the EIC Accelerator.
Thank you, Giuseppe. If you have any other further mention on the EIC, if not, I will go just to the thank you section. These are some testimonials that we received from the participants for this year's program. So yeah, we are very glad that the program is having actually such a good impact on them, and that we have a lot of results from the actions. And yes, this is the part where we will take some questions. Oriane, if you want to mention something.
Yes, I just want to mention a little thing regarding the video for the application. Just a reminder that the video must be in English and that the maximum length for your video needs to be 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes, the evaluator are not obliged to watch the end of the video. So be concise and stay within the time limit if you want to how to explain if you want to convince the evaluator of your startup. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Oriane, for the reminder. Here you have also the email address for some specific questions that you want to address and you do not find on the frequent asked questions, or you cannot address them now. And also the link to the website. And I will stop the share screen in order for you to see the questions that you left in the chat. Okay, so we tackled the first question in the first part of the event. So it is done. Another question. We've applied for step 1 for the regenerative agriculture team, and we've been selected for step 2 last year. In between, we have made a company pivot, so we have not submitted a proposal for step 2. The pivot now fits in the track of renewable energy team and the EIC Accelerator. Should we apply for the EIC Accelerator startup track because the company has been selected for step 1, and shall we apply on the non-EIC applicant startup track because our new proposal won't follow the lines in the initial proposal selected in step 1? Okay, so here I think we have a very specific question on the company. Actually, it very much depends on the company that you will apply with. If that company, the registered company, was actually selected and was in the process of the EIC Accelerator, you have left just the EIC track. If it's another company, a new company that is established, and you have a new solution that you are applying with, and had nothing to do with the EIC Accelerator, you will have just an EIC track that you can submit to. So make sure just to double check that also when applying. If you have some specific other mentions, please write us a note on the info at SynergistEIC, and we will recheck again. But yeah, make sure about on the entity that you are applying with to fit into that specific mention. Hope I managed to answer it. Okay, for the next one. Okay, hello. Can the table in the team section, expertise and excellence be changed? We have a couple of key team members and it unnecessarily takes up too much valuable space in the application forward. I think here we have some specific mentions on the annex, but we must actually double check the table that you are referring to, as we do not have access now exactly to it. So can you just wait a second? If maybe, or Jan, you can check the annex if you have it in at your browser maybe, and afterwards come back to this question. If not, we will double check it and answer afterwards. To be eligible, I don't know what if that was a question, that I will get it done. Can startup apply with a consortium partners, deep tech company, and academics show the year? Actually not. The consortiums are not available. And
sorry,
yes.
Denisa, the question to be eligible is not the question. Maybe it's linked to another question that has been already replied by Johanna.
Okay.
Written. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I did not saw the connection, sorry.
No problem. Just to do not bother anyone.
Getting back to the consortium, so the consortiums are not eligible for this call, just the companies, so the startups and SME. So make sure to apply with a company that has a specific business plan on this deep tech, green tech solution.
If I may add just a small point here, Denisa, it's not possible to apply as a consortium, but just consider that part of the grants you will receive will be dedicated to further develop your innovation, to proceed on your growth pathway. So if a company that is working as a partner and now can be also a service provider or a technology provider, in case you can include this indirectly as one of the providers for your activities during the program.
Very good mention. Thank you, Giuseppe. I can see now a question regarding the digital aspect. Does the applicant need to be a digital and deep tech company, or is one of those properties sufficient? So the company must, and the business plan, the startup must be digital and must also address a specific deep technology, let's say. So if you do not have it already, you must also fit it into the development plan, but you need to have this specific mission, the digital mission, alongside the green one. So make sure to tackle that also, because we need to also double check the deep tech sector also. And the evaluators will pay very much attention on that, especially. Okay. A platform for automating environmental declarations for SMEs is considered eligible for the program. Again, this is very specific on the solution, but you must take care of the other eligibility criteria, the company, all the other aspects that will, let's say, grant your solution. That is a digital and deep tech one, and it's addressing the green tech mission. If you have a business plan on that and you think that it's eligible, I think you can apply, but please double check the other aspect, not only the solution. Okay. I see that. Can you provide me an answer, but I don't know for what was that? Okay, I see that we have another question until we find the other one. Hi, what's the online engagement during these 6 months? How many hours a week? So this is a very good question because we did not manage to mention that also. The hours that you allocate actually might differ from a startup to another, because there will depend on the KPIs that you are setting in the first part and we together are setting. So you will have to set a set of 5 KPIs in the first part that are related to your development of the solution. So you must take care to accomplish that. And in the meantime, you just have some specific time to attend to the meetings. For the mentoring meetings, for example, you have a monthly, you have a bi-weekly mentoring sessions for one track and weekly mentoring sessions. So 1 hour per week, let's say, for the mentoring. Also, if you need some specific advisory on a topic, you will have another meeting set for that. So we do not have actually very much engagement, let's say, on the specific workshops, but we will, and we do not request from you some specific time on that. But yeah, there are several workshops that might arise and meetings or the sessions with the EIC winners, for example, but they are not that many hours. I don't know if I managed to give you a quick overview on the program, but yeah, it depends actually the hours that you put in the work for the achieving of the KPIs.
If I may, Denisa, just on this point, just consider that, as you know, our program lasts 6 months, but most of the activities are concentrated in the first period of 3 months. So mentoring, other workshops, I mean, most of the required work is concentrated in that part. For sure, there are other activities that will be implemented in the second part of the program, but I mean, less than the first part.
So, thank you, Giuseppe. And follow up here. Good, and maybe Giuseppe, if you can take this question on for the EIC accelerator, it's not compulsory.
Yeah, for sure, not compulsory being a startup. So also to our program can apply both startups and SMEs. Of course, consider that even if it's not compulsory to being a startup to apply for the EIC accelerator, I would say that it is mandatory to working on really disruptive innovation. As I was saying also before, we want to support GreenTech startups dealing with GreenTech aspects and deep tech aspects. But most important, we want to support, let's say, the next winners of the EIC accelerator. So this is the most important aspect to consider when deciding to apply or not to our program.
Perfect, thank you. And I think another related question to this part was this one. I applied to the EIC accelerator as a physical person and successfully passed the first phase and the PIC number and physical numbers. So now we are registering a company, and I'm wondering how should we apply for this call as an EIC applicant or not. So it's very important because just to get back to the first question that actually we answered, it's important for your company not to have applied first or have applied for the EIC accelerator. So it is not, you are not applying actually as a physical person to this course. So the company history, let's say, matters most when trying to apply to this. I hope I managed to answer this. And let's say if we have another one, are there certain limits, percentages for funding allocation to certain activities, for example, subcontracting, procurement, marketing, personnel? Yes, actually, we have some percentages, and you can find them in the guidelines of the applicants at the I think in the last couple of pages. You'll find there's some specific percentages for each of the cost categories. But yeah, you will have to stress more on that after finishing the development plan and after setting also the KPIs. But it's important for you to know this now also to plan your activities. So please do check that also, because we do not have it at our hand now. Good. And I think it's the same question that we have left in the chat that we
yeah, it's quite similar to another question, but here to Harry. Well, you have already applied to the EIC Accelerator Step 1, but you are now pivoting for the full proposal. I mean, some changes. Basically, EIC track is open to EIC applicants they've already applied with the short proposal and passed the first stage of the EIC Accelerator. So in this case, you can apply for the EIC track, and also if you already applied to the with the full proposal to the EIC Accelerator, you are not get funded or you have received the Seal of Excellence. In this case, you can apply for the EIC track. In this specific case, as also already suggested by Denisa, you can choose if you apply with the short proposal, you have been successful, but then you change a lot of things in your business model, in your innovation, and so on. It's up to you. You can decide to apply to the EIC track or to the non-EIC track.
Thank you, Giuseppe. And Alice, please let us know if we do not fully understand now your question. Please give us an email on info@SynergistEIC, and we will tackle this and analyze it with you, because we want to make sure that it's fine and you have all the information. But now it's a very specific question and on the history of your startup, so we cannot take the full coverage on that. Perfect, thank you. And I think we answered all the questions. And I saw that someone asked also how many companies are we supporting for each track, and Joanna also answered, but I want to give a reminder. We are supporting 5 startups, 5 EIC startups, and also 10 non-EIC startups. So in the end, we will have 15 startups that will be supporting during the second open call. We already have 15 that we are working with for the first open call, and in the end of the program, we will have 30 startups supported. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the chat. If not, we will get the session done. And we will wait for your questions on the email address. Anytime.
Maybe just a remark that the registration will be available on the website afterwards, so you can watch again all the informations.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Actually, we have another registration because we had another webinar in the last weeks. So that recording actually is already available on YouTube channel, and this one will be also available on the YouTube channel next week. So yeah, we can check that also. Okay, thank you very much, Philotea. If no other questions, I see that just thanks, and we thank you also for being part of this webinar and for all your questions. When we are looking forward to see your applications and to support you on that. So maybe we'll get to know better your ideas. Thank you very much.